Hey everyone, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name is Josh. Today we're giving the update on the Waukesha incident, tragedy, attack, whatever you guys want to call it, that went on down there in Wisconsin. We talked about it last night, and I've already seen some people. Yes, this is live. Um, I've already seen some people talk about that they couldn't sleep last night. I rarely don't sleep, but like I could not fall asleep last night just thinking about what was going on, the idea I'm bringing my kids to a Santa Claus parade soon, and just the thoughts that go through your head about what really went down. And now the updates that we have are 5 people are dead and I think over 40 are injured at this point. So if you guys don't know what happened, it was in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Yesterday there was a Christmas parade, and a red SUV driven by somebody that we now, I think we're pretty confirmed on who it is, drove through the parade. Um, Still uncertain as to why he drove through the parade. There's been some conjecture, but ended up down the parade line and then mowed over like 40 people. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And so just be careful if you are going to look at that. It's not it's hard to watch, basically. So, and I don't have nightmares. Didn't have nightmares or anything, but I just could not fall asleep thinking about this, and I woke up thinking about it and just couldn't. The updates are horrible because they obviously haven't told us, likely there's going to be some kids and teenagers in that 5 number, right? Like, this is insane. So well, there's videos all over Twitter and stuff like that. I'm not going to play. I played yesterday some of them, but I mean, we might go through a couple. But there is a press conference in 12 minutes. 12 minutes. And so we're going to watch that press conference together, and we're going to see what updates they give us, and then we'll talk a little bit about it afterwards. Sometimes just here, I guess, get something here. Sometimes just talking this stuff out is therapeutic for a lot of people, just to kind of get an understanding of it. So it's just heartbreaking. We had someone yesterday in the chat, Alyssa, I think her name was, who lived there, and she was giving us updates. She's a school teacher. School is obviously canceled today in Waukesha. 18 children were sent to the hospital. That's true. We do have updates. Yeah, I mean, there's 5 people dead, 40 people injured. We have updates on the suspect, and I'm pretty sure it was confirmed. If not, I think they'll confirm it at 1:00. But you can look. We'll look at, like, as soon as we hear what they say at 1, we'll go through all what we know, and we can talk about it, hash out some theories. That kind of stuff is what we do here at the Dad Challenge podcast. Real crime. No. The person that we're talking about was out on $1,000 bond after bond jumping already. So he was not supposed to be out. But people are making some connections already, because this is the way it's gotten political. It's just the way it is that Kyle Rittenhouse, who was, clearly using self-defense, had a $2 million bond, and he was 17 years old. This guy was a career criminal, and we'll talk about it in a minute. We'll say his name in a minute. Was a career criminal and had $1,000 bond, and he was a violent criminal, and he was a child R. And so it's just like, if anything, this is going to be the more of a talk about how the justice system completely it needs to be either streamlined so that it's fair for everybody, or try to understand why it's so different everywhere. And because why is it so human that way, that it's like, well, based on this guy's judge's idea of this, or this judge has different politics, this judge is Republican, this judge is more liberal, and they all make different decisions. I don't understand how that works. How the law can't be just centered and it's leveled on a playing field, but it allows people with political leanings to manipulate it in their way. So the law is bullshit. So I got to find that. I'm going to find the update, see if I can get that for you guys. Oh, CBC generally has that. So let's see if they have it. People are making that connection because the media keeps asking, what if Kyle's black? And that's a good comparison. Well, that you can't use that comparison because Kyle had a $2 million bond. I know that, And if we're comparing sort of apples to apples, not really. The other kid in that shot 4 people brought a gun to a school. Although he didn't kill anybody, he still shot 4 people and he got out $75,000 bond. So there's no comparison. There needs to be a stream if you're going to do this. And some politicians, like I think Kamala Harris, I'm pretty sure was like, they fight, like more liberals fight for like no cash bond or something like that. Or like, no, they think it's racist and stuff. So, it's just insane, man. Oh, there's Alyssa. There you go. My family members are safe. They were 10 feet from the vehicle that drove through the crowd. Oh my goodness. I have 2 students who are in critical condition. Oh, Alyssa, that's so terrible. Keep us updated, please. If we can help. Again, people, I think if you can donate blood or do something today. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. So there's multiple kids, is what we're saying here. Yeah, he was out on previous bond. They know the identity. It's because, and this is what we talked about yesterday. It's to be very telling the way that it gets covered now because of the color of the person who did it. It's such BS garbage, and it shouldn't be either way. It's almost like one side likes that it happened that way, one side hates that it happened that way. And why are we there? How did we land here? And if that's the case of what everybody's been fighting for, we landed here this way. How is that helpful to anybody? Oh, it's press conference. Oh, it's 1:00. Oh, shoot. I forgot that they're ahead of me. Are they? Yeah, are they ahead of me? I don't know. Let's just see here. I'm like, if anybody has a link for it, please send it to me. Yeah, I mean, again, if you want to look for examples, the problem is that there's examples of everything for bias and for what Persephone says here. There's examples for everything from every walk, but there's millions of examples of everything. And so, but the narrative from the mainstream media needs to be a certain way. And I'm just trying to understand it. And I think we're starting to really wake up to this idea that the mainstream media wants us to be divided, wants everybody to be divided. But to what end? Why? Why does everybody need to be divided? To what is the overarching goal to divide the people? And it's been that way for years. Oh, 1 p.m. CST, okay. Well, I was just saying, Pickle, that it's going to be very interesting to see how now people cover this, knowing that our main suspect, not confirmed though, is black. And so I said this last night, I alluded to it, and it sucks that we got here. It sucks for everybody that we got here this way. And now you're going to see people are starting to create a narrative of like, oh, he was running from another crime. And it's like, that even matters. Like that even matters. So and I don't think we're actually going to get answers now, to be honest with you. And that really sucks. Like, if the person was a white person, then you'd have the entire left like just screaming for, tell us everything. It has to be terrorism, has to be all this. And now it's not. And they're like, well, oh, maybe it was just, because he was running from another crime. It's mind blowing that we can see the whole narrative dropped in front of our eyes. We see it. And now we all just have to eat it. And then we have to be like, thanks. I don't know if CNN's doing now. Do you know what they're saying, Avery? He decided the parade route was a good way to get away. No, it's just, no, I'm sorry. Killed 5 people? How do you, if you're trying to get away from the police, why would you go kill a whole bunch of people? There was talk of this, Alyssa, that he was involved in a stabbing nearby and drove through the parade as he was fleeing. It's not confirmed. But I mean, Here's the way it is. CNN wants this to be not related to BLM or Antifa or anything that aligns with their values, okay? The right wants this to be that, and that sucks. What we have here is a criminal who did something insane, who needs to be put down, as far as I'm concerned. This person shouldn't be able to, if convicted, and likely will be, you just don't let them in the world anymore. Same with Plutos and everybody else. You're not welcome in society. And the fact that we're allowing them to be in society is crazy. Like Rosenbaum from the Kyle Rittenhouse case. Why was he out? What he did if you do that to children, it doesn't matter if it's 1, 5, or 10, okay, or 100. You should never, ever be able to be in society ever again. I don't understand criminal justice. And it's because criminal reform and criminal justice are different. There is reform for certain things. I get that. But when you do the most monstrous things you could ever do to another human being, there's no reform. And there shouldn't be. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is a good thought. And unfortunately, we have to talk about this stuff. If he had been shot and killed before he got to the parade, if this is the case that he was running from the police, there would have been riots. Absolutely. He would have been an innocent person, just a good old boy, doing whatever he wanted to do, and he was scared and he was being hunted down. That's what would have happened. Nobody can win anymore because the way that we live, because the way the narrative is pushed right now. And I can't understand why anybody thinks that's helpful. Why anybody thinks any of this is helpful. Is you can only talk about one side if it's against that one side. So if it's something that fits your narrative, like they're trying to make Kyle Rittenhouse fit their narrative and it doesn't matter if it doesn't fit, they're going to make it fit. But as soon as something like this happens, we're not allowed to talk about it. No, can't talk about it. CNN won't say his name like other news outlets. They're referring to him as a he, she. They had a guy in this morning referring. This is. People need to turn off CNN. CNN's the most garbage news network on earth. But if you guys want to see, I'll go through I'll show you this one. So this is the guy. So this is Daryl Brooks, the man taken into custody over the Waukesha Christmas parade mass casualty incident. This is from Annie No. He is a registered S offender in Nevada. He was convicted over having S with a child. In one of his now deleted videos, he defended his actions, saying he was pimping the hoe. This is him here. Okay. And this is him. And here's some of his music. It's garbage. So, trigger warning. It's the worst song I've ever heard in my life. How does this happen?
D-Mark got that heat.
Holding an Uzi. So cool. I love hip-hop culture. It's so good. People want to... sorry, guys. Prosecutors want to sit there and talk about Rittenhouse playing video games and how violent video games are, and maybe they are. But look at hip-hop culture. Hip-hop culture. Holding Uzis and thinking they're bad, ballers, drugs, and hoes, and they get away with it. The rest of the world, if you say something wrong or whatever, if you're sexist or whatever the case may be, you're canceled. But hip-hop artists can do whatever they want.
I just got a low worth about
behind him right there. That's the vehicle he used.
30 in the blicker when I'm out here chasing chicken. Was observant to the game when I used to play the benches. Now I swipe the Vinci, got him looking at me different. I can't miss him yet. AR with a stitching, yeah. Venom.
Whatever. Anyway, garbage. This guy's trash. So, and I didn't play his music off his channel, FYI, everybody. I played that off someone else who downloaded it to their channel. I'm not going to give this guy a view. And unfortunately, he'll get views from this, so I'm not going to play off his channel. Good. Don't watch it anyway. Don't get him monetized. This guy is gonna get the fame from this. Yeah, YouTube needs to delete people's when you're like, I mean, yeah, you're right. Oh, he's definitely not good at music. He sounds like he's it's terrible. Okay. I can rap better than that guy. I'm a fat white dad. You ever watch his music videos? Cool Jonathan. Loser. Get rid of that guy. What if the prosecution will ask if you ever played Grand Theft Auto like the prosecutor asked about? Yeah, exactly. No, all he has to do is play his music videos. And there's another thing that's kind of been going on, that people have been making tweets that are so grossly inappropriate. I've never seen anything like this before. And they're obviously getting canceled, and thank God, but they're making disgusting, disgusting tweets about how they're like, well, it was just self-defense. That's what they were saying. It's to the depravity of some people to make this right. And this was like not 10 minutes after the incident happened or an hour after it happened. People were making tweets like, well, he was self-defense. That's what it is now. No. If you think that, if you were honestly a person that thinks tweeting that is going to be a good thing for you, and you put that out there from your brain, yeah, you're a disgusting piece of trash. And I hope everybody doesn't come to your Thanksgiving dinner. Like, how do you live that way? Unbelievable. Yeah, you have people calling Rosenbaum JoJo, what's his name? The Hulk. Oh my gosh. If you like, you just don't honor them. Just nothing them. Just say, look, unneeded violence, if that's the case that you want to call it, whatever. Don't honor them, especially if you're famous. Don't honor child R's because that makes you look ridiculous. Well, no, of course it's not. But they're saying that what they're trying to do is because they're super butthurt about the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. So they come out with tweets. And I'm trying to look for them right now. Where is it? I'll look for it. I'll find it for you because I want you to see it with your eyes. It's just insane. Yeah, here it is. I'll show it to you because it's just uneffing believable. You guys are gonna be so angry. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but River Everdeen wrote this. I'm not trying to minimize the tragedy of Waukesha at all, but for F's sakes, why not a Trump rally? Seems like a win-win to me. Rest in peace, beautiful souls that were just having a family day out. This is seriously heartbreaking, but guessing the driver will plead self-defense, right? She's trying to be like, I'm not trying to minimize the tragedy. And then literally turns it into, why couldn't this guy drive through a Trump rally? Right? And he'll plead self-defense, right? They're all in two thoughts. She's the most deprived, disgusting person I've ever seen in my life. And then she writes this right after. So absurd that this will be a viral tweet. So people are cool with the hatred, vitriol, MAGA Trump perpetrator. What does this have to do with? Why do people always play a Trump card for no reason? For no reason. To get out of what? No. She says, so people are cool with teens walking around with weapons, randomly killing people, yet providing an accurate reflection on the current state of affairs is okay. Cool, got it. This is what she said. This is what River Everdeen twat said. Okay, that's a term I don't say for everybody, but her, she gets it. Okay. And another one was Chris Wiggins, and he kept this tweet up, everybody. Breaking video shows a moment a red SUV plowed through a crowd of Christmas parade watchers and participants in Waukesha, Wisconsin. You can see the car obviously aiming for people. violence. And then he writes, it's okay. The driver in Waukesha was afraid for his life and defending himself from unarmed holiday crowd. That's Wisconsin law now. Can you effing believe people would just tweet that to the world? And he doesn't care. He's like, cool. You can't cancel these people. Skim or whatever your name is, sorry. You can't. They're provocateurs on purpose. Okay? They're just trying to be all up. They're upset because they didn't get what they wanted. They wanted a 17-year-old to go to jail for self-defense. They didn't get what they wanted. And now they're like, well, I guess not. I guess everything's self-defense now. That's what perpetrates more violence. That's what perpetrates people, dumb people on the left, to go out and be like, well, okay, let's do it. Exactly, Eliza. What would CNN would have said if someone had been carrying and shot him in self-defense, or a cop shot him? What if a cop shot him if he was truly running from the police? What if he was shot before he got to the parade? What would have happened? It'd be interesting to see, Avery, if this was a target, but again, we won't know anything till for another hour. Unfortunately, sorry guys, I thought it was at 1 my time. A cop did shoot at him, yes, but didn't kill him, unfortunately. Okay, but if he did, imagine if when that cop did shoot at him, he killed him at the end of the parade. That guy would have been a murder, and there would have been BLM riots. That would have set off. You guys, your country is holding on by a thread right now. Like, not even a thread. It's like, okay, it's like when you have ripped jeans and you have one of those really, really thin threads and your skin's kind of poking out like a sausage. It's that. And if it's just waiting for this one thing to be lit, and then there's civil war. You're this close. And I'm watching it and I'm scared. And MSM, mainstream media, is the one to blame for it all. They are the one pushing it at every level, and it's both sides, guys. Both sides. Because they feel like there's like 4 major media outlets on the left, and there's what? 1 major on the right, which is the biggest media outlet on the right, which is Fox News, okay? So when CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, all those people have to put out their liberal narrative, Fox says, well, we have to balance that by putting out a super hard right narrative. And that's the problem. It's a powder keg right now. It absolutely is. And the people that are going to take advantage of that aren't even the people who are looking for the justice. The people that will take advantage of this powder keg are the ones who want anarchy. Okay? They want anarchy, and they're going to use these platforms and these people trying to protest for better lives for their excuse to cause anarchy. Both sides are wrong. Yes. Again, there's no middle ground anymore. It does not exist anymore. Even your like publicly funded stuff is left-leaning. Cops are trying to shoot him to kill him. Weren't trying to shoot him to kill him. They wanted to stop the vehicle. Well, I mean, yeah. I think people will join together and focus on unity in Wisconsin. I really, really hope so. I really hope so. But again, I think and if it does, I'm not going to say it. Oh, it's cold up here. Yeah. Whew. Oh, I think Mandy. Sorry. I interrupted your conversation. It's not going to be a civil war against white and black people. It's going to be a civil war against the left and right. That's what it's going to be. Civil war. It's going to be class civil war. Mormons have it right. Start prepping. I mean, you're friggin', oh my gosh, I just can't believe we're living in this time right now. This is so scary. I just don't think there's no any putting the genie back in the bottle either. This is a good question, Matt. I wonder why so many people are out on bond so soon after being arrested. Because they want bond reform. Super fringe left-leaning Democrats want bond reform because they think it's racist. because overwhelmingly the majority of people in prison are people of color, I think, right? And so they want that in these cities that have abnormally high levels of criminality. They want that gone because they feel like it's a class thing. It's like racist and it's classist that these people who aren't rich can't get out of jail, where rich people can just pay the thing, get out of jail. COVID could be a reason too, yeah. Not to this level. We're not as divided. Not really. We're not this divided. Hey, there's New Brunswick. They're letting people, yeah, this is insane. The amount of people like, and they're like, as soon as they let someone out of jail, that person reoffends and does something crazy, then they do surprise Pikachu face, or they ignore it and don't talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. People are going to be happy until jails are empty. Why would you, what is the answer for someone in this chat who considers himself very, very Democrat? And that's fine. Please explain to me what the end game is to like defund prisons, defund police. What are you looking for? Do you think that people are just going to like align because there's no police in prisons? What do you think is going to happen? Okay, so update for people that are showing up. There is 5 dead, 40 injured, and we were just going over the guy that everybody thinks it is. It's not been updated. In an hour, there's a press conference, so we'll know more, but we're basically just talking about prison reform and what's going on. Jack Pasibic writes, the same people who told you for 14 months that Kyle Rittenhouse intentionally murdered BLM protesters are now telling you that a career criminal unintentionally ran over a Christmas parade. Ding, 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 ding. Yep. They want anarchy so they can usher in a federal brief. Isn't that what the military's for? Oh, my son's school is calling me right now, and I don't know what's going on. Give me a sec. Well, my daughter just called me. She needs her water bottle because I forgot to pack it because I'm dumb. And the school will not give her water. They can't drink out of the fountain. Thanks, world. I love this world. Give me a break. Oh, you guys still hear me? Yeah. Okay, so sorry guys, I'm gonna have to come back. I have to go drop my daughter off her water bottle because I'm an idiot dad. I packed him the best effing lunch today too. Like it was the most pimp lunch. When I do lunches, I do lunches. Like it's a feast, okay? It's a feast. But they bring water bottles, but the school's supposed to have water if the kids don't bring a water bottle or if they run out, and they will not give her a water bottle. So thanks, COVID. Give me an effing break. Can't drink out of the fountain. Anyway, I will be back in 45 minutes. We'll do this live, and we'll do the we'll talk. We'll get the conference, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Is that okay? Sorry, guys. That's my bad. I'm sorry. So I will see you guys soon. They should have water bottles, yes. And she said they don't. And I'm going to go drop off a couple of cases of water, considering that they don't have any water. And I'm going to say, here's some water. Don't let kids go thirsty. Okay. Water's like $1 for 25. So chill. I'm going to bring some water. I serve on the parent council at my school, so I'm kind of got an in, you know what I mean? So, okay, I'll be back, guys, at 2.